Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So we're going to carry on with the speed run here. Got an 871, so I think this is our highest rated opponent. Also, I moved my mic in a little bit closer, so let me know if it sounds better or not. I've been thinking about getting a new mic because it kind of sounds echoey in here, but I figured before I did that, I would slide this mic in a little, so it, try to make it sound a little better. So we'll see. We'll see. So we got a king's pawn opening, so e4, e5, and of course I'm going to bring the knight out. Now, I want to kind of put a little bit of emphasis on this point here. So this does develop a piece. This is the Bush-Gas Gambit, and it hangs this pawn. But the point is that he could play here and attack this pawn, right? Which, hold on. If I take this, and he does do that, I've got, let's see, yeah, so this is the thing. If I take, he plays this, and this is a double attack. So I could play this, he takes with check. All right, hold on, here. So takes here, I play this, he takes with check. If I do this, I drop that pawn. So I think then I have to play this. But then that kicks out the knight. So let's think this over. So here, this, check. Well, I mean, if you're going to gambit a pawn, I'm going to take the pawn. And we'll sort the rest out later. There's also this. So this threatens to win the bishop. He's got to slide back. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that bishop. Blunt that. And then we'll work out the rest of this in a minute. He's got a check, but then that just walks straight into this. Which actually... See, now I could just come back, and I'm threatening that fork. What if I take here and then play this? Here, and then I do this. He takes that. I don't love that. This threatens a fork straight away. So let's not get cute. This is a problem. You're down a pawn, and I'm threatening to win material. So what do? And you can't play this to bail out because that walks into another attack, and then you would have your queen. Okay. Yeah, that walks into an attack. That's a fork, and you're going to lose the bishop. I suppose you could play this, but then I think I could just play that. He takes, I take. Takes, and he loses the bishop. Yeah, so I don't think there's a way to avoid material. You could play this and pin it, but if you do, I'll attack the queen, I think. These players these days. Okay. All right, so now the bishop's hanging and the queen's hanging. If he sacks here, which is reasonable to do, I would probably take like this to develop another piece. No, yeah, he has to. I think he has to play this. That really, yeah. So that just develops a piece. So now your, what do you call it, still hangs. The queen is still hanging. I've got a piece for a bishop for a pawn. I'd love to play that and put pressure here, but I can't. Now, I could do this. I could do this. Just harassing the queen. I don't want to give this square away, but at the end of the day, yeah, he doesn't actually have access to that square. So if I played here, let's say he played that, then I could play here. Yeah, I'm going to play this. I'm going to go ahead and hit that queen. You can't take, or I could take. Actually, if he takes here, I would take with the queen and try to force that queen trade. So, yeah, that's just a piece for a pawn, again. So, we're just collapsing here right now. And now that's a problem. So you're going to lose a rook. This is defended. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Now, he could come over. That is a thing, but yeah, he wants to come into here. So I could play this and stop it. And I'm not really that worried about giving up my castling rights. So if he plays that check, actually I have this, which defends that square. So that defends the forking square. And he's able to attack that. So I could take this and win a pawn. I could also get my knight the hell out of here. I don't like him just looming over the position, so let's go ahead and ask him to, very nicely ask him to leave. And one thing that we have not done is we have not castled. So in that regard, he has caused us an issue in that respect. Nice. That's terribly unpleasant. I have that, and then I could play here. This. Defend this square. Try to get this knight out. This is defended. So I don't have to lose material here. I'm going to play this. If he takes me, I'm going to take this. And that's a trade because I want a rook with this guy. So getting him out isn't that big of a priority. This is undefended. So if you take me, you've not won a piece, you've lost an exchange. Whereas, here, now you have a piece that's just simply hanging. And if this guy moves, I'm going to pull it out of here. If he goes here, I'll play this. Actually, if he goes here, I'll just take this, I think. No, if he goes here, I have to defend the knight. This move, and I'm going to play here. That blunders a piece. So that's a trade, and then you're going to take this, completing the exchange. So this knight won this rook, so now it's not losing a piece, it's winning an exchange. So when the dust settles here, I'm up quite a significant amount of material. So it's plus 15, it'll be plus 12 after he takes this. And then I just need to castle, and we're happy. If he played that, take, play here, you take. I mean, you have to take the knight here, or play this, which I think just hangs another pawn. Or perhaps he's not going to do anything and he's just going to kill 10 minutes and lose like that. I'm going to give it to 10. All right, I'm going to put a cut in here and I'll come back when he makes a move. So literally the second that I hit the button, then he made a move. So, nice. All right, so let's get castled. No reason not to castle. What he needs from us is a catastrophic mistake. He needs us to screw up somehow very, very bad. And one way to facilitate that is to not castle and get caught in the center of the board. So we're just going to castle, connect the rooks. That finishes our development. And then this just drops a pawn. If he comes over to here, that's fine. We're not worried about that. I've got a million ways to save the piece. So even if he took it, which really I might just do this and go ahead and centralize the rooks on the two open files and be content with that. So let's go ahead and do this. Because he don't want to trade. He does not want to trade. I'm going to fix this pawn, and then I'm going to play here. And this locks this pawn into place, will defend this bishop, and block that file, you see. So he can't hit this guy now. So when I play this, now I have control of the 2 open files, and I'm killing his source of counterplay. So he could trade, which he does, which what else are you going to do? And now you've just not got any counterplay at all. I'm going to win this pawn, and that's the game. And let's go here just for good measure. And honestly, I may take this. Yeah, I'm going to take this to force that king. Yeah, there you go. Now, the king is stuck now back here. And this pawn, yeah. See, we're not going to take this and try to give him any kind of anything. So I am gonna play here, actually. And then I'm going to play this. And that confines the king. Not if he doesn't make me, though. But the king is confined to the back row. So when this guy now, when he promotes, that's game over. All right? Because the rook confines the king. And if I needed to, I could slide over, defended by the bishop. And then that's a letter mate. All right, so let's have a look at that analysis. This is, look, this guy definitely put more pressure, played a trickier opening than we've seen probably up to this point. But it's given away material. If you watch Magnus Carlsen versus, in a serious game, like if you watch, look, I'm not Ding Loren here, but if you watch the World Chess Championship, these guys aren't playing silly gambits. What they're hoping for is that they could play this, and then you fall into some kind of a trap. You do something silly, and you get beat by it. That's what they're hoping for. And, look, you can play chess however you want. If that's how you want to play, more power to you. I've definitely got torched in my comment section for saying this stuff, but I do not believe that giving away your material and hoping for a trick is good for long-term success. Now, there's exceptions to that. Some, gambit lines are better than others. I think the Evans Gambit is a fairly reputable gambit. The Queen's Gambit is a fairly reputable... Well, the Queen's Gambit is A-okay to play. But, some of this stuff is just not. Like, the Von Henning Gambit, I don't think that's great. Stuff like that. This, just, play solid stuff and keep your pieces, Anyway, so we play this. We get the Bush-Gas Gambit, which, again... Look at the evaluation. +1, plus 1.7. You're just in a losing position. So I take, and he brings the queen out, and now you hit the bishop. And that's the point. So you're trying to effectively to scholars mate me with black, down a tempo, but then you just close the diagonal. And he plays here, and I come back, all right, but then you just get forked, right? So, you gotta know what you're doing here and this kind of stuff. They wanted me to take with the knight, but I'm up 2 pieces for 2 pawns. So look, if I'm going to mess up, it's going to be because the king didn't get castled and he's got a queen. So the reason that I do this is to take one of those potential pitfalls off the board. Your best attacker, because I do understand here that your development situation is about to be better than mine because you're castled, your king is safer. I have 2 knights in the board, but I don't want to end up in a situation where my king ends up not castled. Like you play something like this, I take, now I'm in check, and then I'm getting swarmed with the queen and the... No. Play like this, offer the trade, and look, if you have to go and hide, right? Let's say you played something like this, well, look, I could play here, threaten my own checkmate, I could castle, whatever. I'm trying to remove the potential pitfalls because I know that I'm winning. So if everything from this point gets traded, right? So let's say he takes, I take, okay? You get these 2 guys off the board. You get these 2 guys off the board. This is gone, and this is gone, right? I'm just up a bishop and a knight. Just up a bishop and a knight. So if I'm up material and I can trade, I'm going to do that. So here, I win the pawn. He moves the knight out, and I take the knight, or I take the rook. He plays that, and I come around defending this square. This is what he wants to do, is he wants to fork me. He wants to fork the king and the rook, so I play this, so he can't do that. The best move now is to retreat the knight, and I missed it. And then he just drops another knight. And I castle. And then look at the computer evaluation. Plus 14 here, man. I mean, you know, this is just... And then again, I'm going to, you know, this defends it. But when I move, I'm offering a trade of pieces. So he plays that. I fix it in place so that my bishop has a safe place to come to. And it cuts the rook's ability to target my b-pawn, which is exactly what happens. He comes over, and I simply challenge the file. Because now I'm in control of, well, I'm in complete control of this file, and I'm challenging for this file. You can't stay here because this is undefended. So you either have to give up your last piece, or give me uncontested control of both files. And kind of the counter point to that is, you know, if you play back to here, right? I could just come here. You play this, okay, you know, I could take whatever, you know, but let's just say, you know, something like this, you take whatever. At the end of the day, I'm going to, okay, I could take this. At the end of the day, my point is I'm going to be able to fully invade your second rank, the 7th rank. So he trades, and now I'm up 2 bishops and a rook. He plays that, and I immediately start targeting these weaknesses. I pick up another pawn. He plays that, and here, like I said, what I want to do is I want to confine the king as much as I can. He plays this, and I target this pawn chain because I don't want like a situation here where he's able to start rolling this down the board. He plays here. I break the pawn chain for the cost of a bishop, which, you know, that's not the most accurate, but this guy here cannot move forward without potentially being lost. If he does move forward, then the king is cut off by the rook with nowhere to hide. There's nowhere for him to hide now, which means you know, all the little tricks for stalemate where you try to hide behind a pawn, and that's all gone. That's all gone. So now your king can, you know, because the rook holds this file, the king can never challenge this pawn. You play this, and now I step up, confining him to the back row completely. So not just in this corner of the board, but now he's stuck on the back rank. And if he plays something like, you know, let's say he played, oh, he can't even come here. I didn't even think about that. The bishop cuts it off, so you can't even get over here. So now you see, you know, with the rook here, cutting this off, all you have, because the bishop is guarding this, is these 3 squares. You can't step up because the rook, and you can't go further than that because the bishop. So you get ladder mated. And that's the idea here with this. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys. Hope y'all learned something from that. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And we'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.